Begin seated in a cross-legged position, either on the floor, or if your hips are tight, sitting on a block or a blanket. Bring your hands behind you and interlace your fingers, and bring your hands to your low back like you're giving yourself a little bunny tail. Roll your shoulders down your back. Squeeze your elbows toward one another and lift your chest. And then from there, begin to extend your arms out. And if your elbows tend to hyperextend, then think about keeping a tiny bend in your elbows to protect that joint, but also because it'll probably give you a better stretch across your shoulders. So lifting your heart forward and up, press your knuckles down into the floor. Your knuckles might actually press into the floor. They might not reach all that way. And then begin to reach your knuckles toward the wall behind you, still sitting up tall, and your arms might not actually move that much, but the feeling in your shoulders should change a little bit. And then bend your elbows and release the clasp of your hands. Start to roll your right ear toward your right shoulder until you feel a long stretch on the left side of your neck. Relax your right shoulder, relax your left shoulder. If it ever becomes too much, you just lift your head up slightly until it doesn't feel like too much anymore. Then start to nod your head forward and back a little bit. Bring your chin to your chest. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder until you feel a long stretch on the right side of your neck. Relax your left shoulder. Relax your right shoulder. Start to nod your head forward and back. And then we'll just take a moment for you to do anything that feels nice for your neck. So you might just roll your head back and forth. You might pause in one place. You might even make full rotations with your head if that feels nice for your neck. But whatever you do in one direction, make sure you do it in the other direction as well. And then bring your head back up through center. We're going to take your right hand out to the right and bring your right fingertips to the floor, or bring your right palm flat to the floor. Reach your left arm straight up toward the ceiling. From here, start to bend your right elbow, reach your left arm toward the right side of the room, getting a long stretch in your side body. You might even bring your entire right forearm down onto the floor, so long as your left sitting bone doesn't lift off the floor. Bring your left arm back a little bit so you start to feel this opening more on the left side of your chest. And then bring your left arm forward a little bit so you start to feel this on the left side of your back, around your left shoulder. And then cup your right knee with your left hand and purposely round your spine, getting an opening on the outside of your left shoulder and in your upper back. And then rise back up through center. Take your left hand to the floor on your left side. Reach your right arm up. Bend your left elbow, Reach your right arm to the left side of the room, getting that long stretch on the right side of your body. Keep your right sitting bone pinning down into the floor. Bring your right arm back, getting a stretch in the right side of your chest. And then roll your right shoulder forward, getting a stretch on the outside of your right shoulder and in your upper back. And then cup your left knee with your right hand and round your spine. And come back up to sit. Keep your right hand on your left knee. Take your left hand to the floor behind you and sit up as tall as you can. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, twist to the left and look over your left shoulder. And then release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So take your left hand to your right knee, bring your right hand to the floor behind you, sit up tall on your inhale, and as you exhale, twist and look over your right shoulder. And release, coming back to center. Now bring your arms out to the sides, bent at 90 degrees like a cactus. Then take your right elbow and hook your right elbow underneath your left elbow. And you might just wrap your arms once, bringing the backs of your hands together, or you might wrap them twice, bringing your palms together. Press your forearms forward, and then draw your arm bones back into their sockets and drop your shoulders down. Sit up tall. Getting an opening on your upper back, around your shoulder blades. And as you inhale, lift your elbows up and get a back bend in your upper spine. And as you exhale, round your upper back and bring your elbows towards your belly button. Inhale, lift your elbows, lift them up, lift them back. And as you exhale, round your upper back, bring your elbows towards your belly button. One more time, inhale, lift up, lift back. Exhale, round your spine, elbows towards your belly button. Then unwind your arms. Take your left elbow underneath your right. Hook your left elbow underneath your right elbow, wrapping once or twice. Press your forearms toward the front of the room. Bring your arm bones back into their sockets and drop your shoulder blades down. Then on your inhale, lift your arms up and back. And on your exhale, round your upper back, bring your elbows towards your belly button. Inhale, lift your arms up and back. Exhale, round your spine, bring your elbows towards your belly button. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, round your spine, bring your elbows towards your belly button. And then release, unwind your arms. Now we're going to take our cow face arms. It'll stretch your triceps and a couple of your muscles in your rotator cuff. So you might need a strap for this, and you might not. It just depends on your range of motion. And so if you're going to use a strap, first put your strap over your right shoulder. And lift your right arm straight up. Bend your right elbow, giving yourself a pat on the back. Take your left hand down to your low back and see if you can connect your fingers. See if you can clasp your fingers on opposite hands. If your hands don't clasp, then just hold on to the strap as close together as you can bring your hands. Bring your upper arm behind your head, and then press your head into your arm, sitting up tall. And then release this side, and we'll do the other side. So if you used your strap on your right side, you'll probably use it on your left side as well. Putting your strap over your left shoulder, reach your left arm up, bend your left elbow, take your right hand down from your low back, see if your hands connect, and it might be different on one side than it was on the other side. If your hands don't connect, just hold onto the strap, getting your hands as close together as they'll get. Take your upper arm behind your head, press your head into your arm into your head, sit up tall. And then if you tend to pop out through your ribs in this pose, think about bringing your front ribs back towards your spine. And then release, letting your arms come back down by your sides. Now, come forward onto your belly. We're going to take your left hand underneath your left shoulder and then extend your right arm straight out of your right arm socket. Walk your right fingertips as far away from you as they'll get, and then make sure your right thumb is in line with your eyes and not lower than that. And then press down into your left hand, roll over onto your right side. We're hoping to get an opening on the inside of your right shoulder. So if you need more, you're going to bend your left leg and bring your left foot flat to the floor behind you. If you need more still, bend your right leg, bring both feet flat to the floor. And then if you need more still, you'll take your left hand and bring the back of your left hand around to your low back for a half bind. Or if your shoulders are very open, you can take your left hand to your right hand and interlace your fingers for a full bind. And we'll start to come out of this pose in the opposite order that we came into it. So if you're taking your half bind, bring your left hand under your left shoulder, stack your legs, come back down onto your belly. Take your right hand underneath your right shoulder, extend your left arm straight out. Walk your left fingertips away from you and bring your left thumb up to the same line as your eyes. Press down into your right hand and roll onto your left side. You might stay here. You might bring your right foot flat to the floor behind you. You might bring your left foot flat to the floor behind you. You might take a half or a full bind. And we'll start to release, coming out of it in the opposite way that we came into it. Now make your way up onto hands and knees. Then bring your right forearm down to the floor with your palm face up. And then in front of it, bring your left forearm parallel to your right forearm, palm face up. Walk your left hand to the right, walk your right hand to the left, so your elbows are crossing. Whichever arm is in front will begin to feel a big stretch. And then come back up onto your palms and we're going to switch. So bring your right forearm in front of your left, walk your right hand to the left, walk your left hand to the right. Getting that stretch on the outside of your right shoulder this time. And then release, coming back up onto your palms.